In this example, we're going to go ahead and solve this trigonometric equation. We have the 5 times the tangent squared of 2x minus 15 equals 0. And the values for x that we're solving will be in the interval 0 to 2 pi. So that tells us that our answers will be in radians. If you would like to go ahead and pause the video and give this a go, do so, and then come on back and we'll work it together. Okay, so looking at specifically at this equation, we have the tangent squared, which means we're probably going to take the square root somewhere, and we have a double angle identity also that we need to contend with. But let's go ahead and start by adding 15 to both sides in an effort to get this tangent all by itself. So 5 times the tangent squared of 2x will equal 15. So let's go ahead and divide both sides by 5 so we can get that tangent squared by itself, and that'll equal 3. But to get the tangent now by itself, get rid of that squared, let's go ahead and take the square root of both sides. So the square root and the square will cancel. So we have the tangent of 2x equals, and remember, with the non-perfect square side, we'll need to include a plus or minus. So we have plus or minus the square root of 3. Okay, so we've kind of broken it down here into a nice, or at least nicer looking equation. So where is tangent going to be the square root of 3? And we don't care about the sign because we're going to do positive and negative both. So we can come up here and say, well, the tangent of theta equals the square root of 3, and that reference angle is going to be 60 degrees. Okay, so looking at our quadrants here, we always measure from the x-axis, either up into or down into these quadrants. And so we're going to be doing so using this reference angle of 60 degrees. So it'll be up here, and down here, and down here. And again, it's every single quadrant because it's either positive or negative. We don't care about the sign. So we measure here. So it'll be 0 degrees plus 60, so that'll be 60 degrees. And then 180 minus 60, so that'll be 120 degrees. 180 plus 60, so that'll be 240 degrees. And finally, 0 minus 60, or you could say 360 minus 60 is 300 degrees. Okay, so we have actually 4 values here, but remember, we have this 2x. So maybe I'm going to work this equation a little bit more. Let's do the inverse tangent of both sides, and I want to show you something. So the inverse tangent of that left side equals the inverse tangent of that right side. And so these will cancel, and I have 2x equals, well, the inverse tangent of, let's see, the ratio, the square root of 3, actually gives us 4 values. And we just found those 4 values. So what am I doing with those 4 values? Well, I'm going to go ahead and divide them all by 2. Okay, well, that gives me 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 120 degrees, and 150 degrees. I notice all of these, though, are between 0 and 180. And when I have these double angle identities, I know that to catch all of my solutions in 0 to 2 pi, I actually need to go around the circle twice, because going around it once just gave me these between 0 and pi, but I need the answers between pi and 2 pi now. So you could do a couple of things with this. You could rework the whole thing, or you could just add 180 to all of these degrees, and that would give me the other 4 solutions. So let's go ahead and add 180 to each of these. So it also gives me 210 degrees, 240 degrees, 300 degrees, and 330 degrees. I actually have 8 solutions here for my x, and we had so many solutions for a couple of reasons. One, we had a lot of solutions because we were squaring our tangent, which meant we were going to have a plus or minus, which automatically doubled the amount of solutions. And we had a 2x in here. This double angle meant that we were going to go around twice instead of just once, so that also doubled the amount of solutions. So we went from, typically 2 solutions, double that twice, up to 8 solutions. Okay, so here we are with these 8 solutions, but they need to be in radians and not in degrees. So x equals, okay, let's see if we can get them all. 30 degrees is pi over 6. 60 degrees is pi over 3. 120 degrees is 2 pi over 3. 150 degrees is 5 pi over 6. 210 degrees is 7 pi over 6. 240 degrees is going to be 4 pi over 3. 300 degrees will be 5 pi over 3. And finally, 330 degrees is 11 pi over 6. So, 8 solutions to this equation. You can plug any of them in to see if they work. And just for grins, let's go ahead and just choose one of these. Let's go ahead and do 2 pi over 3. So we know that 2 pi over 3 was 120 degrees. So if we come back up here, we're going to do 120 degrees. So twice 120 degrees is 240 degrees. And the tangent of 240 degrees is positive square root of 3. So we square that, I get 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. 15 minus 15 is indeed 0. So we saw that that worked, and in fact, all the other 7 will work as well. So here are the 8 solutions for that original trigonometric equation.